How's everybody doing? My name is Alan Roberts. I hope all of you are having a phenomenal day. Today, we are going to react to Amir Odom's reacting to obese rapper suing Lyft and insane fat acceptance TikToks for almost no other reason besides it's great to see other people talk about fat acceptance and how ridiculously horrible it is for our society, but also that I'm a huge fan of his work. So I think his videos are well done. He is funny, and I like him. So I'm going to do a fucking video on it. And then here in a second, at 12:30, we're going to be talking about some other stuff. We're going to be talking about, let's see, what did I have slated today? I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, is RFK taking your SSRIs away? Because I see a lot of people very, 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 very concerned about it. And I don't know why. I really don't. Give me a second. I don't know what's up with that either. Huh, very weird. One of my contacts disappeared. All right. So here we go. Let's go get Amir, excuse me. Amir Odom. I gotta fucking get that right. Gotta fucking get that right. This is fucking phenomenal. Just literally fucking phenomenal. He's being played at 1.25 speed, so he doesn't sound weird. It's how I'm playing it. Okay, everybody understand that. Let me go to pull that away so that we can see it. There we go.
This is rooted in anti-blackness.
What you want? What you need?
A bigger chair or something.
She already little.
We had that's what I'm talking about. Good. This is accommodation.
There you go.
Why are people becoming more fat phobic? It seems like this whole body positivity movement, fat phobia, all these things are on the rise. But why? In this video, we're gonna.
I'm just gonna first of all say that there's no such thing as fat phobia. Like there is no irrational fear of being fat, because being fat is objectively bad for you all the time. So it's objectively bad for you. So you can't have an irrational fear of being fat. Absolutely not. So the only thing that even comes close technically is whatchamacallit? Anorexia, but that's anorexia. So there's no such thing as fat phobia. None. Because there's no, like, people are not irrationally afraid of fat people either. Like, I don't know anybody that's like, oh no, fat person, I should run. Because you don't even need to run, really. But just point it out. There's no such thing as fat phobia. It's just a made-up word to try to end conversations that the person, like, appeals to emotions to try to make you feel bad about telling them true shit.
Discover why and get into a couple different perspectives from the more plus size, bigger, and I guess medically obese people, hear what they have to say, and then see if some scenarios that are going down in like the real world, if they're actually fat phobic or not. So again, if you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow a ton. And without further ado, let's dive right into this.
You been in cars that size?
Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that, you know.
Deja Blanding tells us she was just.
Look, I mean, look at her though. I mean, I'm sorry, but like this, I can't believe this is a real lawsuit. I'm very disappointed. I can't believe it is. Like, I mean, it literally looks like a waterbed walking down the hall. It's bad. It's bad.
Trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
Don't believe me.
You know you could not.
No, she couldn't.
You guys, this is the video right here. This is why people are becoming more fat phobic, because the bigger people are, it's kind of like everything else we talk about. Like the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And it's people like this that are this loud, this ignorant, and this brash to say like, I can fit in any car. I'm not that big. Yada, yada, yada. You're delusional. You could not fit in that car. You can barely fit in an SUV. From the fringe black people that we talk about, the fringe gay people, the fringe trans people, you got the fringe obese people, and it's making it hard for the regular, like bigger people that's trying to live their life. And I truly feel that if it wasn't for people like this, fat phobia and like this whole, I guess, being not necessarily mean towards fat people, we're just over it. We really are. Like, I'm tired of this society constantly feeling like we need to accommodate everyone and everybody, but let's see what this person has to say.
Yes, I can.
Believe it.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like a my tires. You know, like
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car.
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
You know what? I don't never have to order Uber XL.
You girl, you're not like every other big person. No, you're obese.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough.
I get the money if they make some food.
Dank DeMoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, like,
Thank Demas.
it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like a Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach.
I know that it was illegal and I know that it was wrong. Here's an example of like, this is what comes to my mind. You have stairs in a business, right? Someone in a wheelchair cannot go upstairs, but per certain laws, you have to have ramps. You have to have some type of accessibility to, you know, be able to serve a patron. Cool. Not every car can accommodate someone with a wheelchair. On Uber and Lyft, you have the option to book a I don't know, special needs car. You have the option to book on the, you know, the vans with the little motorized lifts and stuff. You have the option to do that. Not every car can do that. So just because not every car can accommodate wheelchair people, doesn't mean that all cars are discriminatory towards wheelchair people. It's just like mental gymnastics. It's how stupid our world has gotten. Girl, you can barely fit in that chair that you're in, and then this is to be mean. This is all just to be realistic about what's actually going on in our world and what people are dealing with. And this is just such a false lawsuit that should not be happening towards Lyft at all.
Zach Runyon say weight is a
That
protected
dude lost his
characteristic
job.
in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car or Muslims in my car. It's the same under the law. It's the
No, it
same.
isn't.
The lawsuit is filed.
I get, you know, even then that's a little different because I didn't choose to be black. Some people are choosing to be Christian. I get it. And people are choosing to be fat and large, but there's a difference between someone being black and someone being Christian. That has nothing to do with their physical characteristics, right? When you're obese, it has everything to do with your physical characteristics, and it's just a simple matter of this person cannot get into the car because they're so big. What? And it's unfortunate. It really is that the world has gotten to a place where this rapper feels it's valid to sue this company because this person didn't want you in their car. You're going to break something. I would be concerned about my tires too. The pressure going down, something scraping, something getting affected. Like, you're weighing down the car a lot. At that, you're at risk of breaking something. And the sad part is that it takes a lot of work to be that big. Like, if you're that big, you have to eat a lot. Just eating and eating and eating, when in reality, we all should be looking at food as fuel. Like, you want to be eating to fuel your body. It's okay to have like a nice dinner here and there and whatever, but like, you should be eating healthy, eating quality food that's going to fuel you, make you feel better, and it's going to maintain your weight, if not make you look better. And if you want to take it home more often, I highly recommend using today's sponsor, HelloFresh. If you don't know what HelloFresh is, it's a meal kit service that delivers you step-by-step recipes, and couldn't sit in a chair, you have them get a
real quick. I do like HelloFresh. We tell a lot of people to do it, but I was going to redo his ad just in case they don't want to be associated with me. So it's nothing against Amir. It's just in case HelloFresh doesn't want to be associated with me. I didn't want to fucking get him in trouble.
couch.
Bigger people should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community. You know, all those other communities. I just feel like
You can't equate me. Listen, you can't equate what I do behind a closed door to you not stopping food from coming into your mouth. You can't equate me living my life with a man, very peaceful, very mindful, to just over gluttonous, being like morbidly obese. Like, that's not healthy whatsoever.
But they're going to do it. That's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to watch his videos, because I know he has a balanced approach about this. They're going to do it, right? I mean, that's the thing. You like the whole fat acceptance, fat phobia movement doesn't have merit to stand on its own. It doesn't, like, because it is like basically a movement of object privilege, like to have enough funds and resources and accessibility to get enough calories to glutton yourself to the point where you basically eat yourself to deformity. Like, that is objective privilege, especially because the negative outcomes of that gluttony, like the health side effects, are then subsidized by everybody else. Like, it is privilege. It is selfish privilege. So they can't really defend it upon their own, because they need either the suspension of reality, and or they need to pull on the emotional heartstrings of other people. Like, that's why it's always equated to fat phobia was born in racism. No, the fuck it wasn't. First of all, fat phobia was born in some fucking loser's fucking mind to try to end a conversation that they didn't want to have. So they just called the person some kind of phobic at a time when being called a phobic of any kind was a big goddamn deal. In the last 5 years, being called racist, phobic, homophobic, transphobic, this phobic, that phobic was a big deal, until they used the terms so much and watered them down so much that it doesn't matter to anybody anymore. And that's one of the reasons why you're seeing fat acceptance starting to fall the fuck out now. Because very frankly, it's not, it's not, very frankly, it's not a just movement. Like, it's basically people saying like, you'll show me respect for being a self-harming individual. I don't even fucking know like how we could get there, but it's just not going to be like, there's never going to be a time where the fat acceptance movement could stand on its own. It's a bunch of people who overconsume shit, who don't want to take personal responsibility, and then want to blame all of society for how they're treated when they treat themselves worse than any fucking body ever will in society. Like, nobody treats a fat person worse than that fat person when they eat enough to make themselves even fatter. Nobody. Like, nobody's treating that person worse than what they're doing to themselves. Nobody. Right? They're killing themselves. It is slow suicide to glutton yourself to morbid obesity. It is slow early death. You are guaranteeing it.
And feel like you deserve all the accommodations because this world deserves to be built around all body types. The world is built around the average body type. You have to be like, you can be a little skinny and you can be a little big and like average, and like that's what our world is around. It just makes the most sense even from like making money standpoint. But like, the world isn't even accommodating the skinny people. You can't be too skinny and get on a roller coaster, you'll fly out. Hello, anorexia is a thing. Both anorexia and being morbidly obese are both bad, and they need to be addressed. There's something that should be talked about in society, but being that big doesn't give you the right to demand the type of respect that a gay person gets or a black person gets. No, that is genuinely unhealthy. And
Right.
people like this are why more average person are getting a little bit more homophobic and tired of the BS that's happening, because some people are like pushing back on this person and they're getting flack or being called fat phobic, this, that, and the other. No, being against this type of weight is not being fat phobic at all. It's actually being healthy because you're trying to be mindful of your weight and the things that are going on in your life.
Exactly.
How much people hate fat people? They just hate them. Like, there's like this weird hatred
This guy's a very strange individual. I've seen his videos before too.
It feels almost akin to racism.
This is not like racism. It is racism. Anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness. And the reason why people are pursuing thinness is because they're pursuing proximity to whiteness. The reason why people...
What the hell? Fat phobia is not racism. Fat phobia is just fat phobia. And fat phobia is scared of fat people. I'm not necessarily scared of fat people, but I'm concerned. I am scared of fat. I'm scared for them and their health. I really am. It's a genuine concern. It's actually not healthy. But to want to lose weight is not wanting to be skinny and then get in proximity to whiteness, as if Honey Boo Boo wasn't a thing, as if like there aren't white obese people. Why does everything have to do with race? This is so stupid. Stuff like this, man.
I got that one for you, Amir. Everything needs to be about race, or nobody gives a shit. Because you know why? Lose weight. I don't give a fucking shit. Not you, Amir, of course, but the lady in your video. Like, that's the thing. Like, everything needs to be about race because they can't keep it about like, well, you just eat too much, because they just fucking eat too much, and it's privilege and it's overconsumption, and it drives the cost of food up. It drives the cost of other things in society like healthcare up, transportation. It drives the cost of everything up because they selfishly overconsume on a daily goddamn basis. So since that is what causes obesity, that is why there are fat people. There are fat people 100% of the time because they overconsume calories for their caloric expenditure. That's why people are fat. 100% of the motherfucking time. If you have hypothyroidism and you're fat, you're still eating more than your body burns. If you have PCOS and you're fat, you're eating more than your body burns. Period. Just because your body might have an issue where its basal metabolic rate is slightly lower, and I mean the test results for hypothyroidism is something like 5 to 10% at maximum. At maximum. 5 to 10%, and you're normally medicated for it, that's not an excuse. You're fat because you eat more than what you burn. Many times over a long period of time, daily, systemically. So therefore, they need to link it to shit that's, societally unacceptable, like racism and homophobia and all sorts of shit. Because they do that too. It's not just about blackness. They make it about queerness and whatever, gayness or whatever the fuck they call it nowadays, whatever the kids are calling it nowadays. But that's why they do it, because the whole movement, which is hilarious to call the fat acceptance movement a movement, the body positivity movement a movement. Body positivity would have been a movement, should have been a movement about movement. Body positivity should have been about working out and like that sort of shit. But no, they made it so like it's so 400-pound women can wear bikinis and be told by a bunch of fucking bots that they're sexy, because that's going to save your legs in about 10 years from being chopped off from diabetes.
Makes me fat phobic and racist. Like, I'm over it.
The reason why people hate fat people is because people hate Black people, and appearing curvy or bigger is associated with Blackness, especially Black.
Isn't she white? Like, I'm sorry, but she's not black. She's not much darker than me. So it's always the crazy liberal white women that do this shit. Why?
Black women.
No one has do some people have an issue being curvier and bigger? Yes. The version, like what the early 2000s considered overweight and big is like normal now, let's be real. But like I'm trying not to be mean. I'm applying context. I really am. But this person that's making the video, you are not, thick and curvy. No, you look really big. There's a difference between being really big versus like, thick and curvy. Like thick and curvy, whatever. When you're morbidly obese, that's when it becomes a problem. And it's not racist to call it out or discriminatory. Or when we closer to whiteness, this is stupid.
I'm sorry, but I think the price you pay at the airport should be according to BMI. And I'm at the point where I'm like, so if my bag, as someone who's underweight according to BMI, if my bag is 1 pound overweight, I have to pay $100. Yet the cast of new TLC doesn't have to pay, and they'll accommodate them with extra seats. I'm sorry, how is that fair?
Please let this be rage bait. Please let this be rage bait.
Definitely not rage bait, but I will say I used to think like that. Like, okay, it makes no sense how I'm being charged more for an overweight bag, like an overweight person is not being charged more. I have to look this up, but I feel like that charge in like your bag being overweight is due to the people having to lift up your bag. No one's having to lift up the fat person, like the plane is, but like no one's having, like there's manual labor associated with your actual luggage. So when it is overweight, you're putting more work on someone else. When you're big, you're not really doing that. You're more of like an inconvenience. So I get the difference there, but I don't understand back the whole Southwest thing, how you can get a free ticket if you're big. On one end, it's like, cool, I respect you not like squishing them next to somebody.
Yeah, but they should have to pay for it. And frankly, I've done many articles about this and many videos about this. It is unsafe to have people over 300 pounds on airplanes. Like by the FAA's own studies, own testing, it is unsafe. When there's more than 5% people that are 300 pounds on a plane, they can't meet evacuation. They can't come close to evacuation standards. They can't come close to it. Like, so if you have a bunch of morbidly obese people on a plane, because so say you have 100 people in there, there's going to be 5 people that are 300 or more pounds, almost always in society. It's fucking that fucked up. It's that fucked up, right? And very realistically, that means that the plane shouldn't take off because they cannot possibly evacuate in time by the FAA. So big, huge fat people should not fly commercial. If you're over 300 pounds, you should not fly commercial. You should not be allowed for the safety of other people. And I'm all for freedom. I don't think you shouldn't be able to fly, but you risk everybody else's life on board. That's not viable. That's not what I would pay for,
Somebody, but on the other end, I'm sitting here like, just lose weight. And why are you like losing out on money as a company because you want to accommodate this fat person?
Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this, but unlike the suitcase you overstuffed with like shoes and handbags, fat people are humans, and accommodating
they're humans that are hurting themselves to be huge.
Them by allowing them to fly equitably with people in smaller bodies is a human rights.
It's not equitably. It's not equitably. Equitably would be saying paying the same price. And that's not true, because we pay for a certain amount of space and we only get that space. If they pay for a certain space, they get a free seat. Fuck that. Fuck that. Why don't I get half off? Why don't they just give me a second seat?
Issue. Fat people are literally stigmatized in every aspect of society.
You know what else is like stigmatized by fat people? Their own bodies. Their own bodies are stigmatized. When they're walking up a hill and they start huffing and puffing, their lungs are stigmatized.
Yeah.
Their lungs are offended. The lungs are hurting, okay?
Yes.
Their ankles.
This is why I love this motherfucker. The fucking the like low level, like passive aggressive sarcasm is just, it's just fucking beautiful. I fucking love this dude.
When they're getting swollen and they're getting rashes from walking around too long, the ankles are getting crushed. When we talk about fat people being stigmatized in society, we have to understand the human body, their own human body is stigmatizing them. heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, high blood pressure. Our body is not meant to be that big. And we keep trying to be so accommodating. Our own body isn't even accommodating. Your bones, your arteries, your veins. If our own bodies were as accommodating, we wouldn't see that being like such a big health issue, but it is.
Do you know if the plus sizes were moved too? They're not in their section. Well, they're usually in that back left corner, but it's now all like not plus sizes. And I walked around, I couldn't find them anywhere.
They discontinued plus size altogether at this point.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. They discontinued it. Okay. No worries. Thank you.
I mean, what do you expect? If there's not going to be that many big people, and you know, if they're looking at it's all data and money. If they're looking at their analytics and
he's on it. That's this. That I've said this very same thing.
We have this much square footage in our store, and on average we're getting like 3 sales a week in this section, but we want to expand this section because it gets 50% of our sales. Let's expand it out, give more room, give a better shopping experience. It's worth booting the section that doesn't get the sales. It's not even about being hateful, it's not even about being bigoted, it's just a matter of like data, and it just doesn't make sense to keep stock of plus sizes if it's not working out. I don't know if that's exactly what happened in the store, but I would think so, very likely. Hence why in most stores, if you want to get something super big, you have to get it online because it's a waste of space to just have it in the store. And I don't think this world needs to be that accommodating to someone that big. Again, like I said before, because it's a choice. You're choosing to be that big at that point. You really are. And you have to take personal responsibility with your weight and how you're looking and how you're acting in the society. And you can't sit here and demand everything just because you feel entitled, because you're an American. You deserve this right and this right. Your body also deserves the right to live in a happy and healthy vessel. Your body deserves that right to be treated with love and care. Your body deserves the right to be fueled with really nurturing food. Your body deserves more self-respect than what you're giving it. Again, like, I'm all for you being a little skinnier or average or a little like thicker, whatever. You can totally be healthy, but that's not healthy. Being this big, being this overweight is not healthy, and you're not doing a service to your body or your mental health whatsoever. I think that's what's upsetting about all of this, honestly, from the 500-pound rapper that's just big to just big people in general demanding more space, demanding more accommodations. It's that at the end of the day, I don't understand how you can sit here and demand all these things, but you don't even like demand the health for yourself. You have no ounce of self-respect being that big. Again, I'm not talking about being thick and curvy. I'm not talking about being a little skinnier than average. No, I'm talking about being like morbidly, like deathly big. It's so frustrating just like seeing the squeaky wheel actually like get the oil when they don't even get the oil, but it's being like a squeaky wheel. You know what I mean? Like from the people that are black that complain about the smallest things, like, oh my gosh, a white cop shot a black guy. It's like, girl, how many black people should know black people? Or like the gay community, like, oh my gosh, like I deserve to be in a women's bathroom even though I have a fully intact like it's clown war. But through making content like this, sharing my videos, liking and subscribing, I feel like I'm hopeful, and I read the comments. It brings back common sense, and it makes people more aware that they're not alone in their thoughts and feelings. Like, to me, like, I'm not being mean or hateful, I'm being realistic and here for the truth. Like, being too big, you're gonna die, and it's not okay. We don't want that for you. You deserve better. You should want better for yourself, and that's all that we want. I feel like all my viewers, my supporters, my followers, like that's what y'all want too. You want better for yourself.
What a great I again love his content. Absolutely fucking love his content. So I did want to tell everybody right here is a special we're doing. We're doing a MAHA consultation deal. So half-hour consultations for our app are normally $45, and it gives you the app for a month and a half-hour consultation. You can use this link to get the app for a month, join all the live and pre-recorded classes for a month. You'll be in the hunger management support group and the mindful habits group, and a half-hour consultation with either myself or Crystal for $25. So it gives you the app for a month to test it out. You get to, if you've ever wondered if you should get coaching and you wanted to see if we're a good fit, you can get a half-hour consultation and decide that. It's $25. That's reduced quite a bit. It's reduced almost 50%. It's about 48%. And we would really like to talk to you if you have any questions, consultations, anything like that. The consultations, like I said, give you access to the live and pre-recorded classes, and you can sign up. There's classes in the morning, classes in the right at midday, and there's classes in the early evening. So they would be good for almost everybody. Plus, there's pre-recorded classes, and you can track your food, you can track your nutrition. We can put recipes on your app. We can put a workout right on for one of our pre-done programs right onto your app for you. So please do check that out. I will take Q&A right now for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to talk about RFK and SSRIs. So because people are very upset that they think RFK is about to take their SSRIs away, which is fucking wild. So anybody have any questions before I head off? Bueller? Bueller. Everybody on this, please jump over to the next one. I will be starting it up in about 4 minutes. And if I miss, this is the last chance. 3, 2, 1. No questions. I'll see you on the next one. About 5 minutes.
The Holy Trinity Bundle isn't just about weight loss. It's about empowering you to find your healthiest, happiest self. Let's talk about what's in the bundle and how it caters specifically to our needs. First, we got Ember, which is not just any fat burner. It's also going to boost your mood, your energy levels, while also suppressing your appetite. And if you're worried about it being too strong, you can split the tablet in half to tailor its impact. Next, we have Alchemy NCT, which turns the carbs that you eat into energy and not fat. Yes, energy, not fat. This is our way of making sure that the meals that you eat contribute positively to your weight loss journey. And girls, we all know that we want that. And finally, no morbidity. This one's my favorite because it works while you sleep. It burns fat and controls those nighttime cravings without any stimulants, so you wake up feeling refreshed. Try it out and feel the genuine difference. Here's to new beginnings and real results.